Hello, I'm Jane Turner. I am the manager of Housing First Stoke-on-Trent. Over the last few years, we've been having a look at how to provide a more gender-informed approach to our service. And one of the areas that we wanted to have a look at is supporting parents, being aware really that in particular, a woman's identity, if they're a mother, is something that very rarely gets discussed in homelessness services. And it can be very hard for support workers to really know how to open that conversation without triggering trauma. But a high percentage of people in homelessness services have got children and certainly have got wider family that they may not currently be connected with. So we worked through our specialist homeless women's worker in partnership with expert citizens to have a look at how we could develop something that would help start this conversation and give some guidance, definitions, key links so that they could actually get started on this topic. So I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to just take you through the Reconnecting Families Toolkit that we developed. Okay, so this is the Reconnecting Families Toolkit. We wanted to, some of the feedback from expert citizens was that actually we need to look wider than just looking at connection with family, with children, and actually talk about reconnecting to wider family members as well. So this is about being able to connect with children where there may have been involvement with children's social care, or with family members that the people that we support may have lost contact with. And the toolkit just starts with some basic details. There's a contents page, and I'm going to take you through the contents of it. So first of all, we've got some keywords and phrases. We're not assuming any prior knowledge for anybody working through this toolkit. So there's information here about what things like care proceedings, care order mean, what does parental responsibility mean, for example. We've got information about what kinds of contact arrangements may be in place, which could be supported contact, supervised contact, indirect contact. And then after those initial definitions, we then have some open space here to start putting in some information. It could be drawing a diagram of someone's support network, for example, or it could be something written down, but it's just about starting to understand what the picture is of somebody's network. The next section, just straight in with that question, do you have children? And this has been the real value of having expert citizens involved, where we might feel that we have to be tentative. Just ask the question. We're not asking the question enough, and we're just not recognising that as part of who people are. So what are your children's names? What are their dates of birth? Do you know where they're living at the moment? Who's caring for them now? And you'll notice that there's no judgment whatsoever implied in any of these questions. They're just straightforward questions. A little bit more information now about what the child protection system is, what it means by a child in need, what child protection plans are, because they may be some of the things that are in place at the moment. And then finally, would you like contact with your children? What kind of contact do you have currently? What kind of contact would you like? Then there's some information about how you can contact children if they're under the care system. How do you apply for a contact order through courts? And we've got information there about what sort of, what the process is. And we've got links to the forms as well. There's also a section about what if I don't know where my children are, because that might well be the case. And there's information there about how to find that out and how to, which form, a link straight to the form to request for information. Now, it's important to note that obviously contact orders and child protection plans have all been made for very specific reasons, with the priority of protecting the well-being of the children. But we support people on a journey, and sometimes the position that people are in may change, and they may actually be able to start playing a role in their children's life again, or it may be possible at least for them just to have some updates, maybe have a photograph, have some way of recognising the fact that they are a parent. And at the very least, this toolbox opens that conversation, and we can start to think about whether there's any additional support that somebody might need around that whole issue. There's a section here for thinking about older children over the age of 18 or wider relatives, and a bit of information here about how you might be able to take some steps towards that. And then a section on bereavement and loss. I think it's really important that actually we also recognise that there may be some unresolved grief associated with losing contact with children. It may also be that there's been some bereavements amongst people's relations, amongst people's relatives that they may not have dealt with. So we've put some information in here about that. Finally, there's no point looking at all of this without a specific action plan. So this is just some open spaces that can be typed into about thinking about, are there any other areas you'd like support? And what can we do to help? Would that be to write some letters, help with filling in forms, for example? What sort of things can we help you with? And then an action plan. What would you like to happen? Who's going to do it and when? And then finally, there are some hyperlinks here that take you straight to much more information about the legal processes, some support groups, and here again are the links to those forms that are applications to the court for either changes in an order, applications for disclosure of a whereabouts if that's possible. Okay, so all of that should be everything that you need to be able to start that conversation with people that you support around helping them to think about reconnecting with their family and their children. If you use this toolkit and have any feedback for us, please feel free to send that our way. This is a new tool, and there will always be bits that we've perhaps missed. So please do let us know. Thank you very much.